Some people journal. I open photo booth, hit record, and yap away. Boy, oh boy, is my photo booth Pandora's box. But it's beautiful because I have now encaptured so much of my evolution as an individual. And just as much as I have plentiful videos of Zen Hannah, Yogi Monk, Wise, blah blah blah, Hannah, I also have captured me in such feral and foul states. However, though those don't see the light of day because I never want to post a video in which I'm just screaming or venting passionately about some things. That gets you far less in life than being calm, cool, and collected. I can promise you that. But it's been beautiful to capture myself on video. One, I'm a visual learner, so. But two, I've gotten to just watch my transformation and see how much of my ideologies, my standards, my boundaries, and my perspective with myself and the world has changed in such a short amount of time. And that further grows not only my appreciation for myself, but also inspires more evolution. And considering we're entering the year of the fire horse, which is a year of more transformation, surprise, surprise, especially with social justice, truth, individuality, old systems collapsing, I really want to continue to spread the message of everyone is born inherently good, how people turn in and engage themselves and grow calloused towards the world is based on their reactions to situations that happen to them, which you have no control over. But if you continue to treat others with respect, kindness, love, and just wait for them to reveal their true colors to you, you will experience so much more in life than those who view it rigidly, which is number two. Don't view the world black and white. Don't let your standards or boundaries stay permanent necessarily. I'm not saying abandon all of them, but be open to viewing the world technicolor and constant evolving. That's how you grow, and it's okay to pivot in an ideology or pivot in a behavioral pattern. It's the only way you change and you break and end certain cycles. And I have really had illuminated recently just how some of my standards and my perspective with my current reality based on circumstances that are out of my control have made me slightly more rigid, and I was beginning to view the world black and white, and that's not good because that not only comes at the cost of my freedom because I'm engaging myself out of fear, but also robs me of so many experiences with people and so many opportunities to just live in a flow state and experience life. So I really just want to come online today, film a little video, and talk about how it's okay to pivot in an ideology, or it's okay to change a standard or a boundary you have for yourself or other people. That's a part of growth. And we are constantly evolving. Sadly, there is not a time in which humanity is not evolving or you are not evolving as an individual. We are constantly evolving. All Lunar New Year or astrology reveals about periods of evolving is what necessarily the collective or the majority is going to experience versus what the individual is and what the extreme levels are. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have full knowledge of just how painful the evolution will be or have control over the evolution by any means. The only control you have is your response to a situation. So I really want to advocate Don't let yourself grow calloused or rigid. Don't build the cage to protect yourself out of fear, because it will be at the cost of your freedom and you experiencing this world in its entirety. And I think it's important to highlight our world is such a world of duality. That's why it's technicolor. It's why it's not black and white. And I don't want any smart mules, I'm being so polite with my wording, to go off in the comments and be like, well, some people are colorblind. That's sad. I'm sorry. I can't. You're taking my words too literally. I'm just trying to enunciate that it's important to see the duality in everything, but in the end, always choose to hold hope and be an individual who treats others with respect until they're disrespected, and then stand in your truth and fight for justice and say, hey, you can't do that again. That was not cool. Give people the opportunity to show you who they are before you write them off or you cast judgment on them. And also give people room to grow and change, because anyone can change at any given point. It's up to you. You can change overnight. It's really freaking painful, because it means you threw yourself off a cliff, but you threw yourself off that cliff knowing it would be painful. So it doesn't make the pain any less. And it doesn't also negate the pain you will feel after, because it's not entirely overnight. You might make the big jump and feel the poom, and then dust yourself off and stand up, but that doesn't mean a few months later you won't notice, oh, I have a bruised bone and I'm still in pain in this one way, or I'm still in pain in this big way. Change is all about just acknowledging what your mind and body feel in this current moment, and how you're responding to not only yourself but others and your reality, your current circumstances. And I think it's entirely normal to pivot and say, ooh, I no longer stick with that standard, or I no longer have that boundary. Don't go abandon all your standards and boundaries. Those are very important. They keep you safe, and they teach you in just what ways you need to protect yourself from others, because, hey, we are the apex predator. Hey, there are malicious people out there doing nefarious things that just are so miserable in their lives, they're going to try and make you miserable. But I don't think just because maybe the loudest, the people that are the most miserable will always try to be the loudest, because misery loves company and trying to find it and making you miserable if you're not yourself. You shouldn't categorize everyone with them. Because not everyone is miserable. Not everyone is bad. People are born inherently good. Just what makes them, as I said, callous or rigid is how they're responding to reality and their current circumstances, or how they're dwelling in past. But they can change. And the only way you can help that change is by being an inspiration to them. By being the individual who chooses to have hope, being the individual that continually shows people immense kindness, goes out of their way to help people, and just be a beacon of love, and always give people respect and the opportunity to reveal who they are over time, because you're never going to find out who someone is just overnight. Sorry, babes, it's going to take over a year at minimum. Sometimes 3. But also, when someone reveals themselves, and if they hurt you and said reveal, give them grace, because they are human. And I know that's hard, because we want to be rigid and we want to get angry, and you can be angry and saddened by how people treat you if it's not nice, but don't let it make you rigid, and don't make it hinder you from being open to grace and forgiveness, because forgiving not only is freedom to you and yourself, but also is freedom to another, especially those that lived and created hell. They lived in hell, they created it. They need forgiveness when they decide they want to make a heaven. So, I really just wanted to come on today and talk about how important it is to really soak in the duality of being a human and being open to evolution at all times, and don't let your ideologies make you rigid. I really was noticing some of my ideologies were making me rigid and making me view the world black and white, which just is so weird to be processing, because I really pride myself on having such a vast appreciation for so many different things and aspects of different cultures and religions and spiritualities. Hey, my Bachelor of the Arts is in Theology, World Religion Studies. I love being a universalist or a deist or an omnist. There's so many terms for me. You could even call me agnostic. But I really do kind of pride myself in my vast knowledge, but I've never let that knowledge make me rigid. I think where I was becoming rigid is in the need to protect myself from feeling more pain or disappointment from other people. That's where I was becoming rigid, because right now, in my current life, without getting too deep, I am having to process a lot of pain and allow myself to feel the anger, to feel the sadness, but release it and forgive and choose to keep the door open. Not the door open for everybody. I'm not saying keep the door open for the absolutely nefarious and diabolicals, okay? Some people need their justice, and to that justice be never seeing you again or speaking to you again. But to those that are reacting out of avoidant or anxious attachments, or to those that are just miserable in their own lives and they want to do better and you see them fighting for that, but sometimes their misery does bleed on you because they lash out, hold sympathy for them. Give them grace. Especially the avoidant and anxious attachment people that just really react out of those two states. They live in personal mind hells. And it takes time to break those attachment styles and to choose to just heal and evolve and be okay with change and be okay with the what ifs, and realize that 90% of the problems we face, we create. The other 10% out of our control. So I really want to come on. Oh my goodness. Someone's coming back from the past. My nose has not stopped itching all day. I'm about to become Rudolph by how much I'm just... Oh, I looked like a bunny rabbit for a second. But I really just wanted to come on and be a message of, please be a good person. Please show everyone respect, kindness, and love. And give people grace, patience, and time. And forgive. Because it frees you in the end. And don't allow yourself to become so rigid that you rob yourself from evolving and from having so many wonderful experiences with others and yourself. Same mindset you had at age 5, you don't have now. I promise you that. But I'm not saying you're not. Now I'm being literal. Now I'm getting too literal. My Virgo rising showing. You don't carry the same mindset as you have at age 5, but don't let the world and the circumstances you endure kill the inner child's perspective of life is so magical. I just want to be a beacon of love. We can live in a world of peace. I think we should be striving for that every day and striving to view the world as magical and appreciating the duality instead of letting rigidness take over. So that's my message. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. And maybe one of these days I'll post me in a feral and foul state, just ranting, rambling, crawling up the walls and ceilings. But until then, Zen Hannah wins, and you can thank my tryptophan, reishi mushroom drinks, and my psychiatrist and therapist for Zen Hannah winning. I love you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Take care of yourself.